Hey there. Thanks for tuning into DuckBricks. I'm Chris, and today we have an exciting LEGO Bionicle video. It is time for the second round of the DuckBricks sponsored Bionicle Fanon contest. So in case you aren't aware, just a couple of months ago, we started these contests off with the Toa 2 Yet Fanon contest, which picked up right after the cancellation of the official TTV Canon contest, and really was held to great success. So much participation from all around the community, and all of this inspired me to make these Fanon contests a staple going forwards for the long term. And so, today I'm ready to announce the topic and contest categories for this second round of the exciting Fanon contest. So, just a quick note before we get started here, I'm trying to space out some of the more important characters with some quote-unquote more creative filler contests. While this by no means is an unimportant contest, it definitely is focused on more characters or Rahi that are not named, specifically just some different creatures to inhabit the Bionicle universe, before we go on to pursuing more named characters that are a little bit more interesting for the next round of contests, just to break things up a little and give people a break if they just want to focus on the most important characters. But don't worry, because there are a lot of really special things we want to announce with this contest, including multiple different prizes being given out to different categories of winners, large and small, so everybody has a chance. And so without further ado, let's just jump right into the details of this contest. I've linked a Google Doc in the description below that sums up pretty much everything you'll see in this video, so if you do want to read that, go check that out. And there's also a link to enter the contest as well, so do stay tuned for that. And so, let's just jump right into this. Okay, so the topic for contest number 2 for the DuckBricks Community Fanon contest are the Dinosaurs of Bota Magna. Originally theorized as sets for the cancelled 2010 Bionicle wave and later appearing throughout the story serials and comics, these dinosaur-like creatures, large and small, roam the plains of Bota Magna before the reformation of Spherus Magna, upon which they continued to roam throughout the lands. We got very limited glimpses of some of these dinosaur-like creatures, specifically in the All Our Sins Remembered comics. You can see 2 of the land-themed creatures here on screen, as well as one of the more water-themed ones, and of course, this is just barely scratching the surface, because throughout multiple story serials like the Reign of Shadows serial and even Journey's End's epilogue, we got mentions of these giant biomechanical reptiles created so long ago by the Great Beings, roaming around their homeland of Bota Magna. And so for this contest, it is a very open-ended one, and I am incredibly excited to see what sorts of creations you all will bring to the table with this. With that, let's do a brief overview of the rules and regulations for this contest. Much like Contest 1, I am really trying to make this as open as possible to as many members of the Bionicle community, and with that comes as few restrictions as possible. And because this is a much more open-ended contest than the last one, there are a lot less rules and regulations. But just in case this is your first contest, I will briefly go over it, and of course, you can see all the detailed rules on the document attached in the description of this video. So essentially what you can submit are either pictures of physical entries via official LEGO pieces, digital entries via any digital LEGO building platform, art entries via any medium, so painted, hand-drawn, digitally drawn, really anything you want. You can use any 3D printed elements as long as the elements are freely available online. So for instance, if you can go on Thingiverse and download a piece for free, then you can go ahead and use it. However, if you had to pay for a 3D model, or if you had to buy a specific model that is not already digitally free, then you cannot use it, just in the interest to make sure as many people can recreate these as possible. You also can use custom elements, aka modifying LEGO pieces, painted parts, or bootleg parts. However, you do need to specify which pieces you used and how you modified them so people could recreate it if so. From there, to submit your entries, you can post them on any sort of public website possible. So this could be Flickr, Instagram, Facebook. As long as there is a public link to your entry, you can go ahead and enter and submit your entries via a Google Forms. Now, the only major stipulation is that if you are submitting an image of a Bionicle or LEGO MOC, you must include either instructions or breakdown photos. Specifically, breakdown photos are to allow people to recreate your models, especially myself, who will need them to recreate them for the eventual review if you win. So if you do submit it for the contest, you will need to provide breakdown photos, and a similar kind of restriction goes for the art contest. If you are drawing a model or something based off of an existing LEGO 3D model or a custom 3D model, you do need to provide a link to that as well so people can try to recreate your drawn artwork in terms of a physical form. Now, for the dinosaur contest specific rules, I am very open to seeing any kinds of creatures. You absolutely are not limited to just the scientific definition of dinosaurs. Really, as long as you have a reptilian-like creature or even just a traditional prehistoric animal built with primarily bionicle or Technic pieces, then it's pretty much good to go. Stuff like underwater creatures like Mosasaurus or even prehistoric crocodiles would go. Prehistoric fishes are absolutely allowed. You could even go for pteranodons or flying creatures. Really, the sky is the limit, and I would love to see the amount of creativity people could get out of this contest. Now, to that end, there are 2 major categories for this contest with 2 different prizes and 1 runner-up prize, large and small. And it's really up to you to choose what category you want to compete in based on the prizes specified. If you feel like you want to compete for a specific large prize category, then go ahead and select that in the forum, and the same goes for the small category. And we'll be talking about the prizes at the end of the video. Of course, some general rules for the contest are that you must be 13 years of age or older, and only 1 entry is allowed per person. However, you are allowed to resubmit entries as many times as you'd like up to the contest deadline. We will just take the latest entry. Additionally, there will be no meme entries allowed. This is kind of just handled on a case-by-case basis, and really the way we see it is that if we do not notice that your entry was meant to be a meme entry, then you're probably not memeing right. So there's time and place for that, but we are trying to make these contests just have people be putting their serious foot forward, so meme entries will not be allowed. Lastly, any work submitted must be your own original work, so no plagiarism or commissions, etc. allowed. But of course, if 3D models created by others are used, which are very common, just cite your sources and provide links. For the mock contest, you must provide just 1 photo, specify the entry photo that you want used, link that in the Google form, and for the breakdown photos, just add an additional link for those as well. For the art contest, you only really need just the 1 picture for the art entry, and do make it clear if your artwork is meant to imitate the artwork of a prior Bionicle artist and not try to pass it off as one of theirs. It is incredibly simple to enter, and we have just been using this for the 2 contest. As you can see in the Google form below, there is a link to submit entries. Clicking on the Google form will bring you to this website. You simply paste your link, specify what category you'd like to compete in, and link your breakdown photos as well as any custom 3D elements, and finally a way to contact you if you win or if there are any problems with your entry. There is a very short review period where we will double check every single entry and make sure they are all good. There is no guarantee that we will be contacting you in case there are issues with your entry, especially because the schedule on this contest is quite tight compared to the last one, but we will do our best to reach out to you as you submit, but of course there will be no guarantee, so please do try to follow all the instructions. For instance, last contest we did have a lot of issues with, say, people submitting links to Instagram accounts that were private, or Facebook links that were private, or simply forgetting to submit breakdown photos, and while we were able to reach out and contact most of the people who did this and get them submitted, just try to actually do it right the first time because there is no guarantee that will happen. Now, once the review period is over, the main image of each entry will be posted on a Google Docs, which is linked at the top of this document here. Now, specifically when voting starts, we will hold voting on Google Forms and use the Tideman alternative method of voting. Please feel free to ask any questions about that in my Discord if you want to know exactly how the voting works, but ultimately it was determined to be the most fair choices. And of course, we will be getting a lot deeper into the rules of voting once voting actually starts in about 2.5 weeks when the entry period closes, but just keep it in mind that is how it works. And once the votes have been tallied, we are actually doing something a lot special this year, and that brings us to the schedule because for Bionicle Day on August 10th, there will be a winner announcement. So we are actually partnering with the folks in charge of Bionicle Day to announce the winner here, which is very exciting. However, that does mean that we actually do have to close voting a little bit earlier than expected. Voting does end July 29th. So that means that the time frame for this contest is a little bit tighter. However, if you have been keeping up with exactly how this has been running, you probably already knew this contest was coming from quite a long time away. In fact, I initially announced this contest months ago when we initially ran the 2 contest, so hopefully people were aware of this to begin with. There will be a 2.5 week entry period from July 1st to July 19th. I will take a couple of days to review everything and set up the polls. On July 21st, voting will launch. This will be over a week of voting from July 21st to 29th. That is the final date I have been given to submit videos to Bionicle Day, so that is really just a hard deadline that we have to keep here. And then August 10th, tune in to Bionicle Day for the grand announcement of the winners of this contest. And with that, let's talk about the prizes. So as I mentioned, there will be multiple different prizes for both first and second places for each of the different categories here, small and large. Starting off with the small category, the second place winner will just receive a Duckbricks fan and review video with links to any social media you would like. But also, the folks behind Bionicle Iliad, you can read more about them in the description below, have partnered with us to bring us Lego Set 31058 Mighty Dinosaurs as the runner-up prize. This is a Lego Creator 3-in-1 set that has proven to be one of the most popular Lego Creator sets ever, so much so that they actually recolored it for a special UK run last year. It actually does feature some construction Bionicle pieces in it, specifically the friction joints and the ball joints used, so it's a really great hybrid of a currently available Lego set and some Bionicle-like ball joints as well. So do contact us if you are the second place winner, and they will be shipping the prize over to you. And the grand prize for the small category is an Elite Scrawl helmet with war paint. The model has been designed based on the All Our Sins Remembered comic, and the physical prize has been provided by Metru Nui Market. You can check both of them out in the links below. Now this is really cool because, of course, this is one of the comics where the dinosaurs first appeared. We got our look at some Skrull warriors that were different from the actual Lego sets, and this helmet has been translated as an actual physical piece thanks to 3D modeler Galva, and of course the physical design has been brought to you by Metru Nui Market. Now what's really amazing about this is that it actually is Lord of the Rings inspired like the Uruk-hai. You can actually see a handprint on the helmet itself, some really intricate blood red markings, making this a one-of-a-kind collectible for the grand prize of the small category. And I cannot wait to see who wins. This is such a cool piece to have in hand. But of course, that is just one category, and we have another set of prizes for the large category. Starting off with the runner-up prize, not only will you receive obviously a Duckbricks review, as well as another copy of the Mighty Dinosaur set provided by Duckbricks. But now it's time to announce the grand prize for the large category. Duckbricks has once again partnered with famed resin caster Socketball to produce a custom dual-color Glatorian Galu helmet molded in dark green and transparent green. The ice-themed helmet has been rethemed to a jungle color scheme in theme with the Bota Magna dinosaurs and to call back to one of the most elusive prototype Bionicle masks. This is a truly stunning mask or helmet, and I am incredibly excited to have the winner actually be able to receive this prize. It is really cool to have this in hand, and best of luck to the winners. With that, we have summed up all the prizes. They can be shipped pretty much anywhere in the world. Good luck and play well. Alright, and with that, we have summed up all the details for this second round of Bionicle Fanon contests, specifically the biomechanical dinosaurs. I cannot wait to see everybody's entries. This has been something I've been wanting to see for a long time. Large and small creatures are all welcome. Again, you have these separate categories for your size, so do feel free to enter in the contest no matter how many pieces you have. Really, pretty much no restrictions or very little restrictions as we just discussed, and I really do want to make sure that we are able to involve as many people in the community who actually want to take a part of this. So, thanks for tuning in. I can't wait to see your entries, and let the games begin.